So I'm going to zoom out to the daily on this, and I was looking at a couple of things here where we're going. Yeah, so I was showing this in earlier videos, so I'll just fly through this quickly. Yeah, so this is the daily. So you can see the pattern here, the bounce, the wave, the bigger wave, and then the smaller wave. Yeah, is if you look at this blue line here, this is a strong support line, and it goes all the way back to the beginning of XRP. You got three very solid touches here. But if I take this out for now, and I show you this now, is if you look at the support lines, this is the mid support line. So look at price action below, then look at price action above. Yeah, so you can see the wave and then the wave returning back down. You can see there's a natural point for it to come back down to this line. And this line would be around 26 and a half or so, yeah. Whether it will or not is another thing, but you can see there's a natural ebb and flow where it bounces to here. This is the bottom of the bear market, 217, is it comes up. This is the SEC case. It breaks back up here, comes back to this line, gets rejected here, comes back again. And you can see this red line here is you can see this is a guiding support line as it comes down, yeah. And again, you can see it leading all the way to this line, this support line here, yeah. Now you'll notice this white line here. This white line is very simple. Is I brought it to this timeline here, okay, and this support line, and all I did was I brought it through, and I looked for a couple of touch points, and again, touch point here, touch point here, touch point here. Very, very obvious stuff, yeah. But you can see the confluence of the support and resistance here, the transition from resistance to support, yeah. Where if you follow this line down, again, it looks like potentially there's another touch to it here. The question is when, but you can see the guiding line. So you can see this red line here, yeah. Equally, you can see these support and resistance lines here. So when I zoom in, and again, when it breaks this green line, obviously we're off in at the moment, yeah. So I'm going to put this blue line back in here. There it is. So when I zoom in, you can see price action is playing out in this triangle here, yeah. Within that is you have this impulse here. This is the impulse, and again, here's the correction so far, yeah. So you can see the descending channel that it's in. So this little line here is the center line of this descending channel. This one here is this green line. Again, is look at the price action above and below, above and below. So this is the center line. So today, if you look at it today, just this we're zoomed out, looking at the daily, is it went up and it touched the green center line here and got rejected. So strong wick rejection at the moment on the daily, yeah. So now the question is that will it continue down, or what are we going to have, yeah? But definitely it came up and it's being rejected on the second half of the day. So that's where we are right now. The question is, are we going to head up or are we going to head down? It's really difficult to say at the moment. Is you can see the channel here is, here's a touch, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's come here, it's got rejected back. Now the question is, are we heading down to this channel again and we give it a day or two? We bring it back down to 36 or so, we'll wick through, could be 35. Or are we going to break out of it? And very simply, if we put a line like this, let's imagine we broke out tomorrow, is we could be looking at a target of, target of 47.4 or so, yeah, or a target of somewhere down here, 36.5, 36. Again, that'd be the double bottom. Which is it? it's I don't know. I don't know. I can see an argument for both, yeah. So what I'm going to do is, with the weekly review, I'm going to pull in the arcs and just have a quick look at what's going on with the arcs as well, yeah, just to see what they tell us. So I'm going to have a look at the 4 hour first. Now the 4 hour is the blue arc. This red one here is the 1 hour. But just a quick, again, a zoomed out look is you can see this support line that's got broken and it's been bouncing along it since last Friday, and it's back testing it at the moment, yeah. So back testing it at the moment. When we zoom in on the 4 hour, the 55 EMA and the 20 EMA, you can see it got it rejected here. It's coming back down. There's an impulse here that's correcting, and XRP has been doing a lot of 786s lately, which will bring it down to about 38.86. Let's say 39 to round it out, yeah. To do this correction, thereabouts, yeah. And part of the challenge is we're coming to the end of a 15-minute arc and a breakout. So, is one of the thoughts is you're getting this wave, you're getting this wave, you got this wave. Potentially, it's going to be a shorter wave, and then it bounce up. So that is one of the risk factors, is that we get a shorter correction and up it goes. Or again, we get the touch here and it continues down. So that's still the question. I was hoping to have more clarity on that by the time we got to the end of today, but it's still playing out. So now let's do a little bit of a zoom here. I've put a divergence line from the top here, and this is the last time the breakout came on the hour and it's build is to here. You see a natural touch here. So it's broken it at the moment, and again it's doing a little back test. Is if it does a correction, it should come back into it again, yeah. So between getting rejected on the yellow, back testing the blue, again you can see it's in which way is it going to go. So on the 4 hour, if it was to go down, it would still be a first drop here, the first drop, and then heading up to Mountain Peak, or again up to Mountain Peak. We're still looking for our answer. So when I look on the 1 hour, so this red is the 1 hour here, so here's the 1 hour here, and you can see I've put the 15 minutes in. So you can see the 15 minute, here's the actual impulse, here's the correction. So there's one wave, two wave, and again this is the 1, 2, 3 steps down. Now we have this third smaller wave, and it's due its correction about the 39. And then the question is, what's it going to do? Is it going to do a big impulse up, or will it do a weak impulse and just turn around and drop? Previously, it's turned around and it's dropped. It turned around and it dropped. Now again, these are at different stages in the descending channel, yeah. So is there one more step down? And how big is it if it's going to be? Will it be a double bottom, or will it bounce along and take us down to a greater depth? Yeah. So again, we're waiting to see. When I flick it into the 15, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. I have it on the 1 hour so I can stretch all this out so you can see it. You can see the, to the 2 hour, you will see it all here. Okay, I've got to the 4 hour, there's even more. Okay, there we go. So you can see the yellow channel here, yeah, that we've been going down for months, yeah. You can see then that it gets deeper into this green channel here, so that when we zoom in, so you understand what these lines are, there was a steeper white channel here, which we're after breaking here. So again, we're after breaking this white channel. And again, here's the divergence line that we're after breaking it a little bit here again. So you can still see the play on the 15 minute. So one of the things I've been doing is, you'll see the red lines here. All these red lines are where there's been a drop. Price action and a drop. Price action and a drop. Now you'll notice all these lines are actually even. I cloned them and I put one in there and I put one in there, and they all just seem to fit. They naturally fit. So I've done a similar. I think I might have moved this latest one. So let me clone this, and if I put it where price action is, yeah, like that there. Okay, now that would suggest I have moved this one. That would suggest that this line would be somewhere around here. Okay. Okay, now the reason why I moved this one previously is that it is offering, well, before this drop, it was offering a very solid support line there. So I'll leave it there for now. But this will be the red one without matching the same level as all the rest. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here with this. Yeah. So anyway, my point is the 15 minute is due a breakout. A general way that I would measure this, just a very simple way. Broke out here. Again, there's a target of 47. I take the same and put it here. Okay, thereabouts. Getting a target of 33, which again is a double bottom. So you can see I'm just looking for different confluence between the timelines. So whichever one this goes to is, again, it looks like we're going to head to a 47 or so, or a 33. Okay, so now let me I'm going to have a look at this. Yeah. Here is the here's the channels chart with the 15, the white line is the 20 EMA and the blue line is the 55 EMA, and here is the descending channel as a red channel. Here's the yellow channel, and again here was the white one. So again, it was following down the red line as resistance, and then it took to the white line, and again this follows all the way up to here. So solid line. It touched onto the yellow, and look at this is why I put this line. Remember the red line earlier on? This is why I put it in. It was such a solid. So here it is as a yellow line. Look, it bounces up, bounces again. It breaks it. So now it breaks through. This is the center line as well. This white line here. It breaks through the yellow, breaks through the red, back up, and is back testing the yellow line again. And again, here is it coming down onto the red line. Now if I put in the divergence line here, which I don't really need to because there is enough lines here, but the divergence line again, it's back to the same thing. It's broken out of divergence here, and then the question is it gonna come back into it? And just to remind you, here is 39 here's the 786. The correction of this wave is back onto the red line. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the drawings and leave in the indicators. Okay, so now I showed you earlier on, I'm going to go to the 4 hour. I showed you earlier on that this breakout here, yeah? So now, one of the things I'm noticing is that when the 20 breaks to 55 on the 4 hour, there's a substantial drop. I'll do it from where it breaks out, yeah? There's a substantial drop. There's a 19-20% drop. Is sometimes you get drops like this where it's in a bit of sideways, you get a little drop and it's not so substantial. But when you look at the position of it here, you get a drop. Again, here's a drop. Here's a drop here. Here's the 20 break and the 55 on the 4 hour. So you can see when it breaks it, it's a substantial spill. So now, this is why I'm looking at the 4 hour here. One of the things you get is you get a triple top, and after the triple top you get it's going to spill, you get the spill. So you got the 1, you got the 2, you got the 3. Is this impulse came up, again broke through the 55. Now we're coming back down, and again the correction, again, when I put the fib on, it brings the lines back. The correction is again back at this red line here, yeah, down at 39 or so. So take these away again. So 39 or so is back down here. So now this starts to take price action back below this. So then the question is how great will that spill be? So let's have a look at where it is at the moment on the earlier time frames. So right now, again, here's this, on the 15 minute, here's the impulse and the correction. We're looking at 39 as the 786. This is the 05. It's gone as far as the 05, and you see there's quite a bit of a pushback at the moment. So part of the thought is, potentially, is this time it might do an 05, a short correction, and it pumps back up. So it's looking a bit eager at the moment. You see the 15 is turning a little bit here, yeah? So you've got to look at that. You've got to be careful that that doesn't keep going. Well, it's fine if it is, but I'd have to take the profit on my shorts and come out. So I'm minding it. But now when I go to the hour, is again, here's the back test. Is now this one's green. This was red, and it's gone green again. But you can see it's back up on the hour, testing the 20 on the hour, yeah? And again, here's the VWAP. Here's the 2 hour. Here's the 3 hour. Okay. So now you can see the 3 hour here is this doesn't look so good with regards. If this crosses over like this, is again, this is where we could have the 5 and a major pump here when this 20 crosses the 55. If this doesn't continue down, is this could continue up. And then again, that could follow up, and the 4 hour could continue on, a short correction, and up it goes. So that is a clear and present potential. So now, let me look at where is it now? I have this other, is it this one here? Is this it here? Sorry, I have I want to look at the RSIs. Yes, this is it. Okay, so when I zoom in on this, is I'm looking at this double bottom here in the RSI, from the top to the bottom. This double bottom here, okay? Actually, this is not a double bottom, but it's following a similar pattern, and then this does the double bottom. But it's actually following, when you look at the RSI, it's following a very similar pattern, and so too is this one. So now when I zoom in here, just flying through it, is you got the drop and the lift. You've got the, let me see how to make this properly now. This is the drop and the lift, the drop and the lift. So now from here, you've got 1, 2, 3 bottoms. You have on this one is you've got 1, 2, 3 bottoms. Now you'll notice that the lifts here are greater. 2, 3. So hang on a second. Drop the lift. Sorry, 1, 2, and 3 bottoms. And this one here is actually this is the drop on the lift. You've got 1, 2, and 3 bottoms. Okay. Bear with me on this. I'm making a really solid point. Is you've got the drop, the lift, and you've got the 1, 2, 3 bottoms. Is here, and this one here is you got the drop and the lift, and then you've got 1. I think this is either this is 2 or this is 2, and then this is the third bottom. And this one here, you've got the drop and the lift, and you have the 1, the 2, and the 3 bottoms. Okay, so now the bit that I'm pointing out here is this is where you get the bullish divergence. Is this is the double bottom, but equally is it comes back down, but price action doesn't come as far. So you're going to see a lift up here. Now from here, then it takes, look at the level here, and then it starts to work its way down. It has a particular pattern here. So I'm noticing this pattern, yeah? Equally here is you've got these lifts here. They're bigger on this one, but it's actually still the same pattern, yeah? And then you've got this lift here. And again, it comes up and meets a similar level, and then it starts to work its way down, yeah? And then equally is you've got the lifts here, and then this one's come up. Now this one's come slightly higher than the previous two. It's working its way down. It works its way down. Now we got to look at this one. Okay. So when I zoom in here, you can see on this one that the impulse wave happened here, and then here's the correction. So you've got the wave up, and then gradually it has the wave down. Yeah, so it tests the white line here, the 20 EMA, and then you see it just working down, and it drops here, comes up and does a test. So look at it, 1, 2, 3 tops. So remember about the 3 tops, and then you have the final drop. Okay, so and it down for the double bottom. So this is what I'm pointing out for you: the 3 tops, and then on the way down for the double bottom. Yeah. And again, that works out in, you'll see that playing out in this part here. So now here, on this part here, again, here's the final down for here, is again you have 1, 2, 3 tops, and then you have the spill down. So again, it's the same thing, the working down, the 1, 2, the 3, the little lift, and then down it comes. So you've got the 3 tops. And again, it's the 20. See the 20 MA here is, and the 20 EMA, the white line and the pink line, and the 50 is here. They reject it, and then down it comes. On this one here, again, is the pink 20 MA, and I believe actually that's the 10. My apologies. That's the 10. It's 10 MA. So, and it was the 10 MA here as well, not the 50. Okay, so now here we are here. And we have our 1, our 2, and our 3 tops. So here's our impulse up here. It happened quickly here. Then you see it working its way down. And it took us all the way over to here before we test the 20 EMA on the daily. And we've got 1 top, 2 tops, 3 tops. 3 tops, and again, is a rejection wick on the daily, and it's the 20 that's rejecting it. Now here's the 10, and at the moment the 10 is turned up. So the question is what's going to happen tomorrow is, are we going to have the spill, like the normal pattern, the spill, in the last 3 times, or is it going to turn and break up? Because at some point it has to turn and break up. The bottom has to be somewhere, and we're not very far away from it. But the question is this it? Is this the bottom? So now you can see here is the pattern here is you've got when it reaches a peak, a drop, lift, a drop, bit of sideways, and a drop again. Here's a drop, a lift, a drop, a bit of sideways, and again it does a bigger drop, comes up, drops again. So bigger movement, but still similar. Where here we've got a drop, a lift, a drop. Now this is where it gets more challenging. The lift is higher here, where on this one the drop, the lift, the drop, and then a bit of sideways and the spill. The drop, the lift, the drop, a couple of lifts here, and then the bigger drop. So again, this is still indicating that potentially we're going to have to drop down. That's what it looks like to me, yeah. But Bitcoin is looking like it's absolutely ready to pump. And if Bitcoin is going to pump, the rest are going to pump with it. So now I'm not going to take much longer. I'm just going to have a look at a couple of the MAs. I'm going to get rid of the drawings and just have the MAs. Okay, and I'm going to zoom out to the one that is most challenging for the pump. There we go. The weekly we're looking at the weekly, and this is the 5 MA, and you can see today it's wicked up to it, and it's been rejected, and the VWAP is pointing down at the moment. So this is a solid rejection. This is not going to be easy to break up through. Obviously not impossible, but you can see the challenge is when I flick into the 5-day. The 5-day again is, if this dropped, you can see that the 5 and the VWAP are in a spill position. But for sure, if there was enough of a turn, these could be turned into support. You're getting a pop up to the 10 at, again, there's 48.50. I think the 6-day, the 5, now the 5 was actually up higher. This 5 had turned sharp. As the rejection is coming through the day, this 5 is getting lower. So it is possible that if this dropped, that 5 would just come with it and you'd be crossing over the VWAP. But at the moment it is turned up, so that is turned up. There's the 4-day looking like it wants to pop up. There is the 3-day, and again you can see the 10. The 10 is resisting, and the lift up was from the VWAP and the 5 today, and a couple of them are like that, just giving a lift. But now this latter part of the day, the rejection is pushing back down. So you can see the 10 is pushing back down. So these guys are having an effect. Now you can see the 2-day. The 2-day is looking very pumpish. You got the VWAP underneath. You got the 5. The 10 looked like it was support, but now it's coming back down a little bit. So, but this looks like it could pop, yeah. You can see the medial line here is also a Bollinger Band or an MA. So you can see there is a certain amount of rejection of the medial line, the midline. Here's the top, here's the bottom. So when we go to the daily, again, here's the daily, and look at the 5 and the 10 and the VWAP are all looking very pumpy. And again, the 20 is rejecting. And just remember the pattern I talked about the 3 tops and the previous patterns. It was the 20 that rejected it, and equally the 10 that rejected it. So what happens on the turn of the day tomorrow, I think is going to give us our answer. Is depending on what the VWAP, the 5, the 10 do here, as well as the 20. Is all you need is 1 or 2 of these guys to turn down, and I think we're heading down. Equally, if they decide we're going up, is then the pattern breaks and up we go. So now I'm just going to flick through a couple more and not spend too much more time. I know I'm taking a lot of time. The 12-hour again is looking looking like it wants to pump, but it got rejected at the 50 today, and since then it has been coming down. But you can see up until a few hours ago, this was solid. There's a bit more of a push coming back up. There's a bit of a battle going on again, pushing this back up. Yeah, but you can see that it's been a green first half and a red second half. Now I want to show you one more thing that's very interesting. Is, and you'll see this on the 10, the 9, the 8, is look at the 50 here, 50 MA, look at the 20 MA. They cross over, and then the 20 MA crosses back through the 50, crosses it, and pushes down. So even though the 5 is pushing up here, the 20 and the 50 are actually pushing down. And it's an odd thing to see the 20 and the 50 behave like this, and going against the 5 and the 10 in this manner. In this manner, yeah? Is you don't see that very often, yeah? And again, here's the VWAP up here. So you'll see the same battle going on at the 9 hour, the 8 hour. And again, you're starting to see, again, a solid rejection candle. You can see this one coming down on the 8 hour. Again, look at the retrace, the push back up at the moment. So something's going on more so the last hour or so. The last hour is starting to turn. It's starting to turn again. And that's where we've got to be careful with this 05 correction. So I'm just flicking through the 4 hour here. And again, the 4 hour is looking like a very solid retrace. But at the moment, we've got this candle and it's pushing strongly, yeah? But you can see, look, the 5 and the VWAP is turning here. Here's the 10 coming up. That's a natural formation. The 5 turns, the VWAP turns, the 10 is coming up. You get that battle going on. But right in the middle of them is you got the 144, the WMA, the 100 MA, the 50 MA. You got all these guys in here, all getting caught in the middle of the 55 EMA. There's a big mishmash of them going on in here. So it really is. How can I say? It's a bit like spin the bottle. Is you sort of spin the bottle, and whatever way it lands, that's the way it's going. So it's really hiding its behavior. And again, you have the 20 coming up like this. So it's definitely hiding it's not making it easy to read. It's almost like whoever's pushing the buttons here doesn't want you to be able to read the direction. It's leaving us wait. Okay, and you can see there's a consolidation of the MAs as we go down through the hours. And you can see there's a solid lift back up here. And again, you can see a consolidation of the MAs, and this coming down, this coming up. We'll just bring it down into the 30. And the reason why I'm just coming down like this, you can see again the MAs are all getting tighter and tighter. There's the 15. Here's the 5 minute. So again, you'll see them getting tighter and tighter, and at some point there'll be a pop. So it looks like it's probably going to last until the turn of the day. The turn of the day is going to give us the answer, yeah. So until then it's a little bit of a battle going on at the moment. Okay. So which way is it going to go? I honestly don't know. I can see the argument for the down correction, but I can also see the argument for the pump. I can see both. So we just got to play it out. I am mindful that there's a strong rejection candle on the daily here. On the last couple of hours of the day, I'm observing how this behaves. If we lose this, again, it looks like we're going to head up. If we hold this and there's a bit of a battle back down, again, there's more of an indication we're going down. But this is a rejection on the daily, as it stands. And we have 3 hours and 10 minutes left for the rest of the day to see what's going to happen here. So it's definitely going to leave us on the edge. So that's it. Has anybody any questions? I wish I could be a bit clearer about is it this or is it that, but it is just playing. It's playing us right to the edge here. Yeah.
I have a complex question about how MAs and EMAs are formulated, and it's probably better if I send it to you in a DM. And it
Yeah.
also relates to.
Yeah. Send it to me. Send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it.
Yeah. It sounds like a separate conversation. Yeah. Send it to me to DM. We'll tease it out, Michael. Yeah. Okay. All right. Super duper. Mihaela, do you want to take over?
Yes. Yeah, I'll take over.
Okay. So let me. You share screen. I'll stop sharing mine. Streaming. Let me go silent now. Get out of the way. There's that there. Okay. There you go.
So, I'll start with Bitcoin, and I'll start. You can hear me. Yes. I'll start with Bitcoin, and I'll start on the 1 hour. I have it on the 15-minute, but I'll actually start on the 1 hour because it's clearer to see. This is where we were last week in this kind of pattern, and we were in this channel between the 32,300, let's say, and the 28,700, 600, 700. And last week we went up on Monday, Tuesday, and then we sort of like hovered sideways Monday for the big part of Monday and Tuesday, and slightly expanded the range at the top and then slightly at the bottom, and we made this diamond top formation. We seem to be in the same place. We seem to be in the same place today. Now this looks a little bit smaller, which makes me think that we might be in for another, maybe some sideways to widen the range a little bit more. Or maybe the move is more abrupt, more violent. There's a little bit more volume. Well, I wouldn't say there's more volume than it was last week, because you can see the candles are a little bit bigger on this side, but there's more consistent volume. So there has been more consistent volume since last week. Just whet the appetite with Bitcoin going above the 30K mark and staying there for almost 3 days, 31st, and then the 1st of June. So I think this week there's a little bit more volume. Retail is coming back, seeing that there are things happening. So we are in this diamond top formation, and I was shorting this correction. I still am shorting this correction, but I'm checking to see if we go past the previous high, and if we do go past the previous high and stay there, then this diamond top will be, instead of a reversal pattern, will be a continuation pattern, and it will probably take us to the 32,300 level. So I am watching to see what's happening within these lines. They are trend lines / divergence lines, and they will be indicative of which direction this is going. If we do break down out of this diamond top, just like we did last week, I think we're heading towards the 30,600 or 500 range. I have my target at 600 just to make sure I get the 30,600, just to make sure I get the 0.5 correction. And I am mindful, I am going for a shorter correction because of sentiment. The sentiment is a little bit more positive. There is more consistent volume, and better safe than sorry. Have the money in your pocket, and then wait for structure for the next trade. So this is the 1 hour pattern and the formation that we're in. In terms of the MAs for Bitcoin, on the daily, we are holding the 20. The 5 has not crossed the 20 yesterday, which it was threatening to do. It actually bounced off it. This candle is looking very nice and strong for Bitcoin on the daily. We've hit the top of the Bollinger, and we haven't come up to the 32.3 area of support and resistance, which is a little bit odd to me. Like, I was expecting us to go there and then retrace from there, not spend so long consolidating here. If we do get, I'll switch between the 1 hour and the MA for a little while. If we do go up to the 32.3 and we stay there and we make a small correction and we consolidate there, the MAs on the daily give us nice levels. So I'd say the next level to reach would be the 35 on the 800 EMA. 30, okay, and then 41.6, which would be absolutely fantastic for Bitcoin. Breaking the 41 level would be really nice, because again, that's a level of support and resistance. Now, on the daily MAs, we do have the 50 crossing over the 800. I looked at it earlier on last week, but I'll change over to Bitstamp because there's a little bit more history. And now, I found a couple of times when it's done that. So here it came, the 50 came over the 800 EMA on the daily. And this wasn't this was a lift up without a double bottom. So the 50 came down, but it wasn't a death cross. It actually came down to offer support for the price action to be lifted up from the previous drop. So it didn't do another double bottom here. Here, the previous case, it did do a double bottom. So at the moment, again, I'm to be honest, I'm not sure what the 50 over the 800 would do. I think it depends a lot on what price action does when it meets the 50. So if there is sentiment and if there is volume to carry it over the 50, happy days. It's probably gonna go above it, and the 50 will offer support and help it cross over the 800 EMA. If price action gets exhausted, and again, people that bought in at 33 or I don't know 34, somewhere around this area, decide again to sell, because that's why we lose volume at times. There were people that got into the market at that level, and then they saw it drop dramatically, and now they're seeing the market go back to the level, and they're saying, no, I'm out. This is too much. I'm out. And there's another wave of sell being triggered. So it depends. This crossing at the moment, I'd say, depends on what price action does when it meets the 50 on the day. On the 4 hour, we are looking great for a lift as well. The only thing that is a little bit worrying to me on the 4 hour is that we haven't back tested the 200. That can happen. We can still continue going upwards, but as you can see, even if last week we came down, we retraced from the 200. Now we are above the 200 on the 4 hour. The 5 is above the 200. If we do manage to keep the 5 and gain a little bit more traction on the 20, so that it comes up for support, happy days. We are above the 5 at the moment, but we are struggling to hold it, and the 5 is not looking in the best shape. There are wicks to the bottom, but the candles are not large and grey, and we seem to have lost a little bit of momentum here. So just like XRP, what Roy said about XRP, I think it goes for Bitcoin as well. I would be equally inclined to say it's going to go low and do a double bottom, at least a correction for the moment, and then further down if the 50 on the 4 hour doesn't hold, and then if the 20, and if we lose further support, again looking at the 28,000 level. But then if we do hold this support that it's gained, and the price action gets above the 50 on the day, we are looking great for continuing this lift. So that's Bitcoin. I'd say a lot. There is sentiment for Bitcoin going upwards. There are positive fundamental news online, but we have to check level by level. And if you are in short, be careful about what happens at the 32.3, 32.4, the previous high level. So that would be my level of invalidation if you are in shorts. If you're wearing shorts, if you are in a short trade, because if it does go above it and decides to stay there, as in there's no sudden pushback and pullback from that level, as it was last week, I would be closing my short and looking for a little bit of retracement to enter, to find a position to enter along, because that will be a level of resistance turned into support. Now for ETH, we are again. I'm going to start with the 1 hour structure. We are in this rising wedge, and it was this rising wedge is supported by the 1850 support and resistance, which not accidentally is the 200 on the 1 hour. So it's I love it when the long-term support and resistance lines and the MAs are in confluence. So that's 200 on the 1 hour, and the support and resistance at 1850 did hold, have been holding so far. The day's not yet over, so they have been holding so far. And if it continues to hold, I would see another lift to the top line of the wedge, which would be the 1950, the green line. So again, we would have a nice confluence between a trend line, the top line of the wedge, and the long-term support and resistance. If the 1850 doesn't hold, again, coming down to the bottom, testing the 1800 level, and then the 1700. ETH is a little bit, both ETH and XRP did what I expected Bitcoin to do, which was a retracement down to the 200 on the 1 hour. I think ETH did a 0.382 correction. Well, has done a 0.382 correction so far. So I was expecting at least a 0.5, but it seems to be holding strong on the 200. And the 200 on the 1 hour is the 50 on the 4. If we switch to the 4 hour, we see there's a lot of support coming in from the 4 hour in the shape of the 8 MA that's crossing. That's meeting the 50. The 5 is turned down. I guess it's normal after these two reasonably sized red candles, but we are seeing wicks. So I'd say the down movement is momentarily paused or slowed down. I would be inclined to see it coming down again. Mondays are a little bit tricky because there's a, how can I say, there has to be the previous week's end and then this week's start have to be merged somehow, and they're not the easiest days to trade. I do see for ETH a drop down to the 1800 for a retest, and then moving up. And again, this drop here wouldn't invalidate the impulse. You'd have a nice 3, 4, 5 impulse going upwards, just as it would for Bitcoin. Now on the daily, as is the case with XRP, we have a reasonably sized rejection. So this wick here at the 20 on the daily is quite ETH has already done its double bottom. However, if Bitcoin and XRP decide to, well, not if Bitcoin mainly, XRP will follow Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin and generally the stock market decides to go for another correction, I'm quite sure ETH will follow too, at least to the 750, maybe even lower to the 1700s, maybe a triple bottom structure. ETH has made triple bottom structures in the past. It likes to test. For instance, here there was a lot of testing of the lower ranges. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 hits to the low, and it was a triple bottom. So here as well, it's a little bit higher, but still came down quite strongly. So I would say, again, I'm looking at how it gains support and how it holds it. I'm not trading ETH at the moment. If I were in a long in ETH, I would stay in that long and wait to see what's happening here at the 1850, probably with a target to 1950. If I were in a short in ETH, I would wait to see if it is going to come up and challenge the 1950 level. And what's going to happen? The 1950 level is the 32,500 level for Bitcoin. So what is 1950 for ETH is 32,500 for Bitcoin. ETH is a little bit more has a little bit more action in that space. Bitcoin not so much, but I would be looking to see what's happening here. And if it is holding it on the 1 hour, if it closes above it, and the 1 hour is more immediate, I would be closing my short. If I entered, let's say, somewhere in this region at 1900, shorting down to 1800, because that would be the natural 15-minute swing trade to make for that correction. That's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Again, we are still in the sideways for both of them. We haven't left the sideways channel on the day. Let me just change to the day. So we are still in the same space. It is a space that has a nice range, about 15% for Ethereum to trade up and down. Technically speaking, I'd say there are still at least one touch to the top and one touch to the bottom before leaving this sideways channel. We had 1, 2, 3, we need a 4 up high, 2100, then down low, and then maybe the breakout. So 3 touches to the top, 3 touches to the bottom, technically to leave this sideways. I don't think we're done with this sideways yet. But if we close the day above the 20, I'd say there will be a change in sentiment in the market. For Ethereum and for Bitcoin, let me just double check. Yes, and for Bitcoin as well. If Bitcoin closes the day above the 20 and tomorrow continues to go up and is not getting rejected, there will be a change in sentiment and the movement upwards will continue. Well, that's it. That's it for me. I am expecting corrections on both XRP and Bitcoin. I'm tracking them, but I am looking for both at the previous highs, how we're meeting those levels, not to turn them into resistance and into support for it. And if we do turn them, I'll be closing my shorts and looking too long.
Super. Thanks, Mihaela. So, guys, any questions? Very good. Okay. If you have any questions along the way, let us know. So we'll find out very soon, next day or so, which way this is going to go. But for now, it's sort of Bitcoin looks as pumpy as hell. It looks like an absolute. It's going up. XRP looks the opposite. There's an awful lot of MAs coming down on the dailies to be pushing down on XRP. So XRP looks like it's got a bigger battle to get up. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're all pretty clear on what our validation and invalidation points are. So yeah, keep your eyes open, and let's see which way it's going to go, and we'll trade whatever way it's going to go, and we'll keep you up to date on the postings, and we'll have a training video later on this week as well. So tomorrow we'll do London and New York again. We'll do that Wednesday. We'll do it Thursday. We'll keep posting on the channels. Then we'll have some training videos later on the week. And if you guys have any questions in between, just let us know. But other than that, have a great day, great night. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Claude. See you later.
Cheers. See you later. Bye-bye.